Hi, my name is Danielle and welcome to my channel. So far, I have only really posted about writing, but what kind of spurred my desire to write my own stories is because I love reading and I am an avid reader. And in 2020, I actually hit my goal of 100 books for the first time. And so for 2021, I set some goals for myself. So this is gonna be my 2021 reading goals check-in. As right now, it is December 10th and my heat just turned on. Sorry if that was loud. It's a bit cold. But today is December 10th, and so we've got about 3 weeks left of the year, and I feel pretty confident about what the rest of my year is gonna look like when it comes to reading. And so I wanted to go ahead and do this check-in because I will have a video of my 2022 writing and reading goals that's gonna be posted in the new year. So let's get started. In the year 2021, I had set a few goals for myself, and I actually have a blog post about that goal setting. I can link that down below for you. But I wanted to read 100 books again. That was really impactful on my 2020 year, especially with the pandemic. It kind of saved me. So I really wanted to hit 100 books this year. I wanted to read one book a month. That helped me grow. I think that self-improvement and growth is important in life, and I don't really want to stay stagnant. So that's why I set that goal. I had a goal to read one book by an author who doesn't look like me. I wanted to be intentional about reading a diverse amount of books from people of different backgrounds and cultures. I wanted to keep track of how much I saved from using my local library. I love my local library, and I almost exclusively use the app Libby in terms of my local library. I don't really check out a lot of physical books. So I wanted to track how much I actually saved by utilizing that. And then my last goal is I wanted to put a review for every book that I read on Goodreads. So where am I landing with these goals? As of right now, I have read 97 books. So I haven't quite hit my 100 books for the year, but with 3 weeks left, I can finish an audiobook in a day with the way that my work is set up, and I will be doing that. I have some books that are on hold currently, and I'm in the middle of an ebook, and I have started a physical book that I want to finish reading. And so with the next 3 weeks, I know that there will be books that I will finish. And definitely I'm gonna read 3. So I feel good about that goal. That is good and kind of a check off that list, because the rest of them I didn't do as great. Reading one book a month that helps improve me or is self-improvement, I did not do. I love fiction. I love fiction a lot. I'm not great at reading nonfiction. So I didn't do that. There were months where I exclusively didn't read nonfiction at all. I did read some nonfiction throughout this year, and the books that I did choose to read were really good. I'm reading a nonfiction book right now. It's called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, and it's been really good. So it's not that I don't like nonfiction, I just gravitate towards fiction. I feel like a lot of readers do that. So that's kind of where that goal is sitting. In my trying to read one book a month minimum of an author who doesn't look like me, I didn't do as great at this goal as I wanted to. I really wanted to be intentional, but I did pretty okay with it. There were months that was most of what I read. And so I definitely read more than 12 books this year. If I was looking at one book per month, that's only 12, which is way less than I wanted to read. So I did hit more than 12 books this year, and this is something that I'm going to continue into next year, and I want to read more new releases and debuts of people who look different than me, because I think it's important to know about cultures and backgrounds and experiences that are not my own. I feel like that makes me a better human, that makes me a better friend and neighbor to the people around me. And I want to be good at that. I'm professed an ally, and I want to actually be an ally. And I know that the publishing industry is not great about advocating for different voices and own voices, stories. So I want to be better at that, and that is me kind of calling myself out for not doing really well at that this year. But I have read some really phenomenal books of diverse authors, and they are some of the better books that I read this year. So be intentional about what you're reading. That's all I got to say about that goal I set for myself. With my tracking how much I saved using my local library, although I didn't set a number or goal that I wanted to hit, in my mind I was like, I'd really love to save like $1,000. And the way that I tracked how much I saved is I used the hardcover pricing of the book that I read from my library from when it was released. So I know like if you go to Amazon, it's like discounted always because Amazon. But I used the hardcover pricing from the original release date because I actually almost exclusively use audiobooks for my library because I just love listening to audiobooks. I think that's a really accessible way to read stories. So I love audiobooks. I think they're fantastic. And anyone who tells you that listening to audiobook doesn't count as reading is lying to you or needs to reevaluate themselves. But that's a topic for another day. So audiobooks, if you don't know, are very expensive. So I did use the hardcover pricing. So the amount I did save as of, which today is December 10th, is $984. So I'm almost at the $1,000 mark, and I definitely am trying to hit that. The ebook that I'm currently reading is from the library, so that'll be another number once I finish that. There are a few audiobooks as well that I want to check out before the end of the year. So I think I'm going to hit the 1,000 mark. So that's pretty exciting. And then with my last goal, trying to review every single book that I read on Goodreads. That didn't happen at all. I made a valiant effort at the beginning of the year to go back retroactively and update reviews. And I have reviewed several of the books, like written reviews. I always give a star rating. But I didn't really write a ton of reviews. I did try. There were some where I would see really negative reviews. There was specifically one book I read in October that had a lot of like representation. It had ace representation, and it did it really well. And there were a ton of bad reviews, and they were just like so mean. And this is something I'm learning more as I get into like the author community and even the like booktube community, and just watching some of their videos where this is like a pretty common practice, and it's really disheartening. So when I did see that and I really did enjoy a book, I did try to leave a really positive review. Even if it wasn't like, if I still considered it a 3-star rating, I did try and leave what I liked about the book. I am pretty generous with my star ratings, but I'm not as generous with my 5-star ratings. So if I really loved it and I didn't necessarily give it a 5-star review, I tried to explain why I loved it so much, or it was great. So those are kind of my goals as of right now. I feel really good about it. I read a lot. I read a lot of books that I didn't anticipate to read, and a lot of genres that I didn't really anticipate to read. So overall, I'm going to call 2021 reading goals a success, just because I feel really good about it, even though statistically it might not have lined up exactly with what I had set at the beginning of the year. But I will be posting a video at the beginning of the year that has my 2022 writing goals and reading goals in the same video, because they kind of go a little bit hand in hand, because they do influence each other a little bit because of time. So just be on the lookout for that, and I will be actually posting a video next week about my favorite books of 2021. Part 1. There's going to be 2 parts, the first half of the year and then the second half of the year. So be on the lookout for those videos as well, and I will see you next time. Bye.